Good to see you.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, camp's about to start. It's Mr. D's least favorite time of the year, to say the least.
Apart from during camp and then after camp, whenever you bother me. Those are my other least favorite times of the year.
So as some of you demigods may have realized, I have with me Mr. D and TJ2, Thomas Jefferson Jr. Yes, that Thomas Jefferson Jr. from Hotel Valhalla, a longtime friend of mine and Mr. D's. And we are really, really fortunate that he's here. So welcome to both of you. Mr. D, I apologize for getting you up so early.
Yeah, cracking noon is a little better.
Yeah, sort of in preparation for later on this summer when our mornings get even earlier. And that's if we find all the magical items we have to find in order to be able to open up Camp in the Park, because we can't do that.
You're right.
So we have about a little over 100 brand spanking new demigods, new to Camp Half-Blood Austin branch. And so I want to let all of you know first, welcome to your new home. We're so glad that you are part of our demigod camp family. And we're glad you're here this morning to find out who your god or goddess parent is. When we get to the part where we're reading the names of campers and their god or goddess parents, please be aware that we're just going to be doing the new campers. Those of you who are returning campers or veteran campers, you already know who your parent is. That's not ever going to change. So we're going to save a little bit of time and just let the new folks know who your goddess or godparent is, and it's going to be really, really cool. We have 15 years of history at Camp Half-Blood Austin Branch. A lot has happened to us, and with us, for us, because of us, as a result of all of those accumulated years. And I want to tell some of you about some of our big camp villains, some of the stuff that we face, because we face a lot of danger. And one of the biggest groups we've ever had to sort of face down is the League of Machines and Monsters. Now, the League of Machines and Monsters is a group that has been around since the time of Alexander the Great. And when anybody had first kind of heard of them, anybody who was a demigod, we knew them to be sons and daughters of Hephaestus. And they were really, really kind of rankled about how the gods treated humanity and how they treated their offspring. I know that's sort of tints, tones, and shades of Luke, Castellan, who you are all familiar with, I know. But even before Luke, the kids of the gods were having communication problems with their parents. And these folks really didn't like the Olympians, like at all. And they
ungrateful wretches. Ungrateful.
Yeah.
You're already a demigod. What do you want?
So, the folks that belong to the League of Machines and Monsters would create weapons, and they would start conflicts and then sell weapons to both sides or provide weapons to both sides. Inevitable war would happen, all of that unrest, all of that death and heartache. And then the League members would swoop in to the battlefields after everything was over and say, boy, our parents really don't care about us, because they're always demigods after a battle, right? They're usually the ones still standing on the field. And so you should join us. Join us, and we can create a power that will rival that of the Olympian gods, and we'll cast them out. And then we can use our power for the betterment of all humanity and demigod kind. So what do you say? Why don't you join us? Now, that sounds lovely, right? It sounds great in some respects, like Power shared amongst all people for the betterment of everyone? Sure. Let's not forget that the League members are the ones that started the war and provided the weapons. They got really, really good at creating technology that could drain the animus out of a demigod. So you basically take the spirit of a demigod. And they started doing that and putting it in a battery, like a League battery, a master battery. And the intent was to create their own version of a master bolt and use it to destroy the gods on Mount Olympus. And they were charging it, in some respects, by using the animus of fallen demigods, many of whom thought that they were going to try to help their own kind or help humanity, only to be cruelly tricked. So for years and years and years, they were charging this battery in order to make, the master bolt. We discovered the League probably in Camp's 4th year. And during that 4th year, we came across an older demigod by the name of HECATE. HECATE was the leader of the League of Machines and Monsters. And they had discovered that their godparent, Hephaestus, had created a special temple that could bounce around space and time. It would keep moving. It would jump kind of location. And it was made from the white marble of Mount Olympus and the black marble of Mount Tam. And it had in it, everybody was told, this immense treasure, okay? And so the League was trying to get a hold of their father's temple. And what ended up happening at the end of all of that conflict that we had with the League, in the end, what was inside the temple was a message from Lord Hephaestus to his children. And it was simple. It just said, remember, I love you. And when we discovered what it said, or when we discovered, I think more correctly, that it wasn't some like big, massive, powerful weapon that could destroy the planet, we had to pretend to let the League win and get inside the temple. So that when they looked around and then looked up into the top of the temple, they saw that message. For many of the League members, reading that message kind of refuted, thousands of years of being told that their parents didn't love them. And it effectively dismantled the League of Machines and Monsters with one exception, HECATE. HECATE was affected by that message, but he couldn't reconcile the weakness that he felt he saw in us as Camp Half-Blood Austin demigods. And so he went off on his own and basically rebuilt the League. It took a lot of years, but he did end up kind of rebuilding the League. I will say that now HECATE is with us. He works with us. He is a valued member of the staff. He typically can be found in the field, usually when we're being ambushed or attacked, which is what he used to specialize in when he used to attack us. He shows up at these really critical moments and saves our bacon a lot of the time. I apologize to all of you vegetarians and vegans. He saves us. So the League has been around for a long time. They're really good at taking animus and putting it into monsters. So remember I told you they could take the animus of a demigod and put it in a power battery. They figured out technology to put it inside monsters or put it inside automatons, those sort of robotic looking machines. And then those monsters and automatons could waltz right through the magical borders of camp. Because guess what? The magical borders of camp, they're not checking what color shirt you're wearing, right? That's not how it works. They're checking to see, do you have a demigod animus? It's so brutally clever. And that's how the League figured out how to skate so many monsters under the radar and get into camp. So the League of Machines and Monsters has been around for a long time. Every time we think we have cut all the heads off that particular Hydra, guess what? Another one, another 4, crop up. And then pretty soon we're up to our neck in League of Machines and Monsters shenanigans. So one of the other things that we have to deal with out at camp, for you veteran campers out there, it's something called the smileys. And the smileys, I know, I can see TJ2's response. It's like, smileys are really creepy, y'all. They are masks. Mr. D, do you mind telling them about smileys?
Yeah, no, it's all right. So a smiley, in its essence, is chaos in a mask. So these masks float around in the forest looking for someone to connect to. Because what they do is they slap onto a face. They prefer demigods because there's more power there. And they make them crazy. Smileys come in all shapes and sizes, all different colors, everything else. The smiley mask itself is like a yellow smiley face. We've got the gentleman who likes to show up and bow and seem to be nice and friendly until he gets out a rapier and decides that it's time to duel. Smileys can't be hurt, not even by bronze weapons. We've got Duffel Bag, the first smiley that anybody ever saw. Duffel Bag is tall and looks like, if you've ever seen, what is it, Howl's Moving Castle? He's kind of like the Scarecrow.
The Scarecrow.
And he hops around like that and does those sorts of things that the Scarecrow does, except for he also grabs people, slaps smiley masks on them, and makes them smileys forever.
Yeah. They're terrifying, y'all. I can't tell you the number of times that we've been out on patrol in the park and looked over to an otherwise just like perfect bucolic setting of woodland trees and deer and birds in the trees, and then 2 or 3 floating masks like in the forest just sort of waiting. It's pretty creepy. Sometimes we hear laughter like in the forest.
Oh yeah, if you hear giggling while you're out at Camp Half-Blood, it's probably not people having a lovely picnic.
Yeah. So we'll be on patrol and you'll hear these like chittering little giggling voices everywhere, off over here, off behind you, in front of you, and you can't see anything. One of the early surprising things that we found out when one of the smiley masks attached itself to Kate's once was that he would disappear entirely right in front of us. We have like video evidence of him or photo evidence of him in the process of disappearing. Really, really, really creepy stuff. And so we've been contending with smileys, League of Machines and Monsters. We've had Lycaon and his werewolf kids, out there. We have mummies, Ptolemaic mummies.
Oh, what a mummy problem we've got. Seriously, that they're everywhere. That's a mess.
And
we don't have that. We don't have that up, in Long Island. That is strictly down here.
And I've been to New York times.
Yeah. So our mummies, though, we've been trained by Sadie Kane. We've been trained by Sadie Kane on how to perform a technique that's called hollowing. And you hollow out a mummy. And so we have special groups of campers that have been trained in the past to be hollowers. The problem is that you got to get really close and you almost have to lay hands on a mummy in order to hollow it out. And it's really hard to do because there's a set of circumstances that all have to happen simultaneously. Proper placement of a wax tablet, the inscription on the wax tablet, the pronunciation of the incantation at the same time as hitting the chest, to send the ba and the ka out of the mummy into the duat. You are commanding it out. So the mummy just kind of crumbles right there.
Guess what, twerps? Some of you new twerps might be learning how to do this.
Yeah, and that's really dependent on a couple of other things. And we'll get to that after we do the claiming part, because I know you new demigods want to find out who your god and goddess parents are. And so I think we're going to jump into that and then hang out afterwards, because there's news about new things that'll be at the camp store, that I want to share with you. Exciting, fun stuff. Like, you're going to love this. I'm so excited about it that I can't even wait to tell you. And we'll talk about the villain that we have discovered as of our winter solstice event, when this particular entity introduced themselves to us and has become a huge, huge problem. So stay tuned. After we do the naming part, the claiming part, I'm going to share my screen here. Bear with me. 450 years old, and not always the most technologically advanced. So let's get right to it. Here we go. Let's start off with Aphrodite cabin. Y'all, I am a son of Aphrodite and Apollo. Aphrodite is my mom, so this cabin is near and dear to my heart. I've been around for 450 years. For those of you who attended my 450th birthday party, thank you. I still feel all that warmth right here. It's really great. So let's get to it. So our first demigod in Aphrodite cabin.
Pretty but pointless.
Oh, now, Eleanor Farrow, congratulations. Megan Fond, welcome to Aphrodite cabin. Harper Jones, such a cool cabin. Annalise Maines, and if I butcher your name, come find me at camp because I want to know how to say it right. I apologize in advance.
Yeah, he wants to know how to say it right.
Yeah, so does TJ too. Amanda Pearson, welcome to Aphrodite cabin. All right, Apollo cabin. This one is my dad, good old Apollo. And I know for a fact, because I've been talking to Dad, that we have a lot of Apollo demigods. So here we go. Let's jump in. First one is Olivia Archdale. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Emmett Arthur. VD Desai. Grace Lilly. Chloe, okay. Mazariegos. Hope I got that close. Bonnie Mills. Nathan Murray. Max Robertson. Adrian Rosales. India Salas. There's some more. Sophia Smith. Man, that's a lot of you Apollo cabin kids. I'm so happy to have more siblings. And then Bryn Tanner, Katie Traugott, or Traugott, Emily Vaughn. All right. Aries cabin's up next. Look at that cabin, y'all. Look at that cabin. Giant boar's head, bloody spear, all that barbed wire. I think that is an Atlas missile crashing through the roof. I wouldn't be shocked. Here we go. These were our cabin designs. You may have seen these on the internet, by the way. We came up with these about 7 or 8 years ago when we decided someday we want to build a permanent home for Camp Half-Blood and be able to design our own cabins. And so we did some concept art. And so these are the cabin designs that we came up with. Oftentimes, these kind of show up on the internet unattributed to us, and that's, fine. But they are ours. So Aries Cabin, Nia Barak, Ren Griffiths, Clara Hartman, Evan Lippert, Austin Okoa, Logan Wenger, Athena Cabin, the wise ones.
So they say.
Oh, I've known some amazingly intelligent Athena kids out at Camp Epplot Austin Branch, and they've gone on to do some amazing things too. All right, Jada, is it Bourget or Borget? Probably Bourget. Mabel Brosnan, Katie Dietrich, Gemma Greff, Madeline Collar, Veronica Pittler, Arjun Rajesh. All right, I'm going to hand this one over. No, I'm going to go to Demeter. I got one more. Hold on. What am I thinking? Demeter Cabin. Y'all look at the tree on top of that cabin and that wild, like, prairie grass up there. I cannot wait to see that thing. All right, first Demeter Cabin demigod, Colin Beatty. Mira Collingham, Emily Connell, Sarah DeVries, Bonnie Jeffrey, Henry Lord Stepp, Madison Meglis, William Messerly, Owen Walk. All right.
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah.
D.
Now you can stop, because now it's my kids, the smart, good looking ones, the only ones who really should be at camp, but we're going to go ahead and get through this. All right. On we go.
Okay.
And if I mess up your name, I don't care. Oh, and the very first one. There we go. Ashrit Biscrowny. Yeah, Biscrowny. All right. Little Scrawny. Hudson Haywood. Sounds like a DC character. Lois Lane. Clark Kent. Tejal Kuna. Kate Lutta. Again, these are the small, good-looking kids, otherwise known as mine. Catherine Malonis. Malcolm Rodriguez. Penny Waters. Now realize, whenever I talk about you being my kids and the small, good-looking ones, it doesn't mean I like you. It just means I hate you less. All right, on we go. Uncle Spooky's cabin, Hades' cabin. David Champlin. Vita Desai. Welcome to Uncle Spooky's. Damien, good name for it, Dohone. Ainsley Freeman. Cash Lunja. You know, he is cash money. Like, that's the whole thing. Hades also got a wealth. So there we go. Allison Miller. Gavi Schreiber. Oliver Wilson.
Oh, you're on mute, Mr. D. You're on mute. Sorry. We still can't hear you. I know.
Oh, all right. I know it's Nemi. I know it is. You're back there pushing buttons, keeping me from unmuting myself. I'm not even making fun. You don't even have any kids here. I don't even know what your problem is, what this is. Oh. Anyway, Fiona Arthur, HECATE cabin. Oh. Emil, I'm going to give it a go. Shafi Guleen. But you HECATE kids, which she creeps me out. So, you know, Titans and all that. So I try to show a little respect. Kinsey Coffin? Really? All right, there we go. People would think Hades cabin, but you know, there you go. Ella Junicar. Sophia Lee. Mila Martinez. Mila. Garen Minor Drews. Oh, we move on to HEPHAESTUS cabin. Here we go. Malcolm Craig, don't join the league. Vikram Gowda, don't join the league. Oh, Alexander Canoes, you know what? Don't join the league. Knox Tierney, not going to say it.
Okay.
Rowan Witten, you, however,
Yeah.
don't join the league.
By the way, it's like while the league members early on were all sons and daughters of Hephaestus, I still got to say that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with the Hephaestus cabin kids. Whatever Mr. D says, you have.
It's true. It's true. Hephaestus is an all right guy and all of that. Just some of his twerps got it twisted, but I had to bring it up since you brought it up. So there we go.
Right. Yeah, sure.
And
absolutely.
You know what? As far as I'm concerned, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, you got one of the best counselors. Been with us forever. And we all kind of secretly think that it's Hephaestus in disguise, but none of us are sure. We can't prove anything.
And I can't say. And I'm not going to say.
Yeah. But there is actually a forge out at camp. And Paul, the Hephaestus cabin counselor, actually makes weapons out there. And shares some weapon making tips with his campers often. So it's really, really cool. Just saying. All right, so we're on to Hermes cabin now, huh?
Yep, and that's the rest of the twerps. There we go. Hermes cabin. Done. No. You know, that's what we do. We put them all in Hermes cabin, right?
No, Mr. D, no. We still have a bunch of kids, demigods to place.
Yeah, Diet Coke, I think. What if I take over while you get yourself situated? And
I think he's done. So that would be great, TJ2. Thank you.
I'll start calling out for sure. All right, Jack Ahart, Leah, and if I mess up your name as well, please do correct me at some point. Find me and let me know, because I do that. Eliza Burkhart, William Cannon, Jack Hooten, Oliver Land, Parker Mickelson.
Mickelson, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Kate Toljan, Micah Rubin. Ruby? I told you I'd mess it up. It's gonna happen. Welcome to Hermes Cat. Ruby Terry, Madeline Witch, Julia Wilson. And now
rainbows.
Yeah, rainbow. Doper.
Yeah.
Say it right. Rainbows.
Rainbows. I'm still upset that you didn't make these pictures a little bigger. You're making my eyes teary. I have to keep
I'm so sorry. Yeah,
these old eyes of ours. I mean, come on.
I was gonna say, you're not as old as I am, but you're up there.
Hey. All right.
Here we
Iris.
go.
Bring out them colors. Aubrey Bertrand. Clara Devon. Maxwell Dodson. Adeline English. Sophia Interiano. Fiona Lawrence. Naomi Baines.
Hold on, I'm letting more people in. And then I've got to redo
Iris
some stuff here. Yeah, cool.
Or ring both. Jonah Ramos. Ezra Radcliffe. Zella Walls Biggs. That's a name. I like that.
For sure. Nemesis cabin.
Ooh, Nemesis cabin got a vibe to it. Okay. Archer Beth. Finnegan Duffy. Maddox Hamer. Cameron Laxton. Casey Laxton. That can only mean trouble if there's oh no. Neil Moran. Mila Phillips. Andrew Pichard. Olivia Swartz. Daphne Talbot. Sophia Walk. Taylor Wilton Green.
Fish ponies. Fish ponies.
We're
fish food.
That's the first dance move y'all ever seen from TJ2. We're going to stop right there. All right. Poseidon Captain. Keon Davenport. Coen Davenport?
Cohen, maybe?
Yeah, Cohen.
Cohen. Niall Drewis Minor. Robbie Everett. Landry Fannin. Benjamin Jackson. I knew a few Jacksons. Back.
Lightning bolts.
Ooh.
Thunderbolts and lightning. Very, very frightening.
Here we go. I need my glasses. Glasses or something. All right. Here we go. Theodore Davenport.
Makai Nguyen.
Yes.
That was quick.
Whoa.
All right. You and your old eyes can rest for a minute. I'm going to go ahead and take it back over.
Thank you.
You're sitting there just weeping, looking at these. I feel the same way, but we're just going to move on, right? All right. Got Kids in Rome. Erev Karnik, NVIDIA. Colpolk Jewel, NVIDIA. Samuel Friend. That's Samuel. Looks like an N. Samuel Friend, Jupiter. Sine Kotian, Jupiter. Sam Ormsby, Mars. Ugh. Owen Schultz, Pluto.
All right. Camp Victory. Now, for those of you that don't know what Camp Victory is and need a little bit of explanation, there are more gods and pantheons connected in the Riordan verse than you can shake a stick at. And there are so many wonderful books as a part of that universe. And before we hop in, I want to share two of the books that you will all be getting access to. You'll be able to choose in most cases, unless you are coming to our online camp and we sent boxes or bags to you via Hermes Air. You will either get Gracie Kim's The Last Fallen Star, which is about the Korean gods and goddesses and spirits, and a spectacular story about Korean witches in Los Angeles. What more could you ask for? It is a Rick Riordan Presents. It is the newest of the Rick Riordan Presents books, and it is absolutely wonderful. By the way, Gracie Kim is a huge fan of Camp Half-Blood Austin and cannot wait for you to get a hold of her book. The other book is equally as amazing, and it's called City of the Plague God by Sarwat Chadha. Sumerian kind of myths. So if you want to do like the Epic of Gilgamesh or Gilgamesh, depending on what university you went to and what books you're reading, City of the Plague God, their main character is Sikandar Aziz, who has to deal with a plague god that has released a pandemic into the world. And it's very timely. It is a spectacularly good, funny, and exciting read. You will love it. And yes, that is a flying lion pulling a chariot on the cover. Y'all, both of these books are wonderful. Now, if you were a demigod child of anyone from either the Korean, pantheon or the Sumerian and Mesopotamian side of things, you would be in Camp Victory, and you would train right alongside the rest of your demigod brethren together. Camp Victory, for a few years, was a rival camp, and we were tricked into going to battle against them because of a really awful Titans machinations, trying to pick the best heroes and champions from both camp to create a group of followers that were an elite group. And then we realized we had more in common with Camp Victory and decided to work together in order to thwart that particular Titan that year. And so now Camp Victory, Camp Jupiter, and Camp Half-Blood all work together. The Camp Victory camp houses all of the other pantheons and demigods. You can be in any pantheon that you'd want to be. And it's really, really cool. So we're going to hop into that next.
So as he said, they've allowed us to go ahead and do the claimings, even though obviously not Greek or Roman. So here we go. Jacob Price, Indra. Asim Dada, Kartikeya. Hook Young McMahon, the Dragon King. That'd be the Korean Dragon King, I'm assuming. Alexia Cola, Frey. Hey, we're getting into your kids here, Thomas Jefferson.
Hey.
Eleanor English. Ugh. Loki. Although I have seen the whole series since I have Disney++.
A little different, as you can imagine. We did have Loki show up to online camp last year, and Loki made me lick a smiley mask. I didn't want to, but when
it got a mischief,
asks you to do something, you kind of have to do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was awful. But you all seem to love it, and there was a lot of laughter. So I guess I'm okay for the most part. But
Oh, Aaron English. Odin.
Yeah, nice.
The All-Father. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, so.
Gabriel Zia, another one for the All-Father, Odin.
Wow.
Oh, Elias Shafiguline, Thor.
Oh, so a sibling. Didn't we have a
we did have, yeah.
Hey.
Well, go ahead and read the name of your brother.
Nathaniel Restbold.
Cool.
Yeah.
So Nathaniel, Meet your brother, Thomas Jefferson Jr. Very cool.
Pleasure.
Alexander Boris. Oh, Anubis. And Riley Poole, Ta. Creator of the universe.
So first off, let me just say congratulations to all of our new demigods. Once again, we are so thrilled and proud that you'll be joining us this summer. We hope that you have the kind of fun that doesn't lead to, dismemberment or a disintegration.
And if you do, just do it outside of camp's borders, because I don't need the mess or the paperwork. So if you're going to get eaten by monsters, do it outside. Outside. I don't like a messy camp.
It's only
so
fair.
I've got a slightly different take on this. We've got a pretty good track record of mostly returning you home with your arms and legs in the same spot as they were when you showed up to camp. Then again, accidents don't happen because you want them to, and your parents signed a waiver. So, I'm just saying, you're going to be fine, like mostly. So we have a lot of fun out at camp. Now, I promised you I would tell you a little bit about some of the stuff that's coming to the camp store. If any of you have been coming to our Between the Pages book talks or book club that we have every Tuesday during the summer at 7 p.m. Central Time, it's free. You get a book talk. The job, basically, it's not even a job, it's super fun. But what I get to do is tell you about some of my favorite books, both new and old, in the hopes that they become some of your favorite books. And we have weekly challenges. And sometimes they're artistic in nature or musical in nature. Sometimes they involve writing or coming up with a joke or a scenario, all sorts of stuff. But what is going to happen when you win a challenge is you get to choose a prize. Either it's usually Camp Half-Blood socks, which are super cool, by the way. Same orange, black striping with our flying pony, our Pegasus on it, or one of our Hermes Air candles. We have tons and tons of camp and demigod kind of themed candles and scents. One of the newest ones was Rise of the Smileys, which is, I think, a perfect segue into our next Choose Your Own Quest adventure. Online, last year, we released a free kind of like Choose Your Own Quest adventure called The Apple of Discord. And it was released episodically, and it was really fun. During a time when we were all locked inside and didn't know what was going to happen and didn't know what was going on, we wanted to make sure that you knew Camp Half-Blood Austin was with you year round and that you could go on an adventure with us. And you were introduced to several of the counselors and characters and folks that you will encounter out at Camp Half-Blood Austin branch in that story. It's free and it's still up and you can access it. We may even throw a link up in chat for how to access that. That'll be cool. But the second story is about to be released, and it's called Rise of the Smileys. And it will give you a pretty good look into the history of where Smileys come from and how they've affected camp and that kind of stuff. So really, really fun. So those things are out there for you. We're going to put links in the chat so that you can discover where the Apple of Discord quest is, and then look for emails about the Rise of the Smileys. It will be coming out very soon. One of the other really cool things that we have coming out, if any of you have ever been to Disneyland, you know that they sell these really cool lanyards, right? With all sorts of themes, on them. What we have is we have lanyards that have CHBA, Camp Half-Blood Austin, with the pony on them. And we have 5 enamel pin designs. The first one just came out for Pride Month. It's here.
Nice.
It's our logo with you know, kind of like a LGBTQ plus, you know, color scheme in the background. But we have all sorts of other wonderful surprises. I've been told there is a Pontifex pin coming out. There is a smiley pin coming out, and all sorts of other things. Now you can collect those pins. You can either buy the 4-pack and you get a really cool, designed by one of our demigods, 5th pin for free. And when I tell you that this thing is awesome, it really is awesome. So enamel pins, those will be set up for pre-sale in our camp store, our online camp store. So you'll be able to see that soon. You'll get an email about that. We have all sorts of really cool camp t-shirts that have been with us for years and years and years. We also have our camp candles. Some of them are burning in tins behind me, like in the wall, those bronze colored tins. And they are themed. We have all sorts of Rick Riordan Presents stuff. We have Sal and Gabby stuff. We have, yeah, thank you. This one is an actual Hermes Air scented candle here. Comes in a nice, lovely tin. And they smell great, like really, really great. So if you like candles and you think it'd be a cool gift, you can get those too. Super fun. We have a whole list of those candles with what they're made with, like the scents and oils, you know, that they're made with. So those are there. You know, like I said, camp shirts, camp socks. We have masks. So as you know, we are not out of the pandemic yet. When it is safe to return back to the park, we're going to be wearing masks. And so we have our orange Camp Half-Blood masks with the Pegasus on them. Those will be for sale as well. And we're really, really looking forward to jumping in to online camp next week. Now, the goal of online camp: 1, survive; 2, have fun; 3, safety third, okay? And then we have a bunch of magical items to recover and bring back with us so that when we do go into the park, we can open safely. Chief amongst those is my father's shield, Apollo's shield, which was a gift to me. It sits on the outside of the dining hall, or the Great Hall, and it is still missing. Now, the reason that we have some of our items missing, well, there are many reasons, in fact, but I'm gonna kind of lay the blame squarely at the feet of Mr. Rictus. Mr. Rictus is a member of the League of Machines and Monsters from way back. Cates has told us he remembers Rictus back when he used to wear like a white kind of respirator kind of looking thing, and used to work in the League bunkers. And Rictus now has a mask that seems to be a blend of both the Smileys and a new type of masked entity called a Frownie that was released out into the world during our Haunted Half-Bloods event last year.
Yeah, great job on that, by the way. Awesome. Go ahead and letting those out. Brilliant.
Yeah. So he has, of course, resurrected the League and has built an automaton. Really strong, blisteringly strong, and is really good at, I guess, what we can only call, he's like a perfect kind of kit basher, right? So he cobbles together old League tech, probably stuff he could find on the street, and breathes magic and life into it, and then uses it to create things that he can then control. Not far off from what the League was doing when they were, you know, had their own master bolt and batteries. He still can take Animus and build like nothing we've ever seen. Cates is kind of astounded at Rictus's power. We've never seen Rictus in person. Rictus has shown up on some of our hazy security feeds from league bunkers and things like that. For those of you that have been to any of our year-round seasonal quest events, we met Rictus during, well, it was during one of your parties, Mr. D, at one of Demeter's vacation homes, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just trying to throw a little winter good time party, and he shows up.
Yeah. So he's taken a very special journal, one that used to allow us to keep tabs on the League of Machines and Monsters. It's the Diary of H.G. Wells. H.G. Wells used to be a part of the League and saw the error of his ways, knew that he was being hunted down by the surviving League members of the time, and created a magical journal that kept track of what the League was doing. Now it's coded, so the League can't read it, nor can they even open the journal to see what's inside. But Rictus, in a pretty brilliant move, has taken the journal out of our hands. And that's one of the items that we have to recover, is the journal or the diary of H.G. Wells, because it was always a really good predictor of what they were going to do. Not specifically necessarily, but we could kind of keep tabs overall on what they were thinking and doing and why. We really don't have a why for Rictus. We don't know why Rictus chose to show up now. And Rictus has sort of preemptively made it his business, at least I think he uses he, him, to steal items that would prevent us from opening Camp in the Park safely. Because if Rictus can compromise our magical borders, it means that we are less safe. Right now, the park is still overrun with monsters from the absence of our demigod patrols. Our staff have been going in, but it is oftentimes overwhelming. The mummies, the Scythian Dracinae, Lycaon's kids, Cyclops or Cyclopes, and Minotaur, and I mean it's a hot mess out of the park. Fortunately, most of the mortals can't see that stuff, but you can bet that the monsters are just waiting for us. The Smileys are out there. We need as much protection as we can to open up camp safely. So your job in these first 2 weeks, like I said, survive, have fun, safety third, get that stuff back. We really need to be able to recover those items so that we can get back in the park. Rictus is #1 on our list of most dangerous. If he is building automatons, there's some proof that he can sort of control the Smileys as well. Isn't that right, Mr. D?
Yeah, it is. Sorry, Hermes is calling me. Let me check. All right. Yeah. Well, we're doing it right now. Well, no, you can't just claim them because their parents haven't claimed. Yeah, we got 3 of them. You can't just have them. That's not how it works. All right. Yes, yeah. Marley Colberry, Wyatt Hasibi, yeah, Hasibi. And Thomas Chavez. Yeah. No, you can't just have them. Look, the parents are going to claim them. It's going to happen. Just relax. I know you want a biggest cabin because you want. I know. No, I'm not going to. I'm not doing this right now. All right, Mike. Yeah. All right, there were 3 more twerps that didn't get claimed.
Okay, so we'll figure out where they go, right?
Yeah. I'll whenever I talk to the Big 12, they may not even be Greeks. So
okay, all right, good deal. Sorry about that, y'all. Sometimes there are hiccups. Mr. D, thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, tell them a little bit about like Rictus and what we've observed with him being able to control some of their actions.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not like Smileys will do what anybody says. Now, it gets complicated. So let's start with Frownies. They're new for everyone. They are everything bad from grief and loss, and they spread it everywhere. If you get near a Frownie, you feel like you're never going to be happy again. It's like a Dementor, you know, they're just bad, and everything feels bad, and you can't do anything. Smileys around Frownies get smart and quick and focused. The best thing that's ever happened to all of these twerps that have been running around out at camp is that Smiley's just a chaos. They just kind of do what they're going to do, and you can usually figure out ways around them. With Frownies around, Smiley will look right at you and see what he's got to do. And for some reason, somehow, Rictus has some Frowny power. He's got a mask that doesn't look quite like a Smiley, nor does it look quite like a Frowny. It looks like a blend of both. And he can make them do what he wants. They were walking around with shopping lists. They were actively doing what Rictus wanted them to do. And remember, they're invulnerable. So it's not like you can stop them.
That's terrifying.
Good luck stopping them. Because remember, I can't interfere.
Thank you, Mr. D. So y'all, we have a giant hill to climb this summer. I have no doubt that you are all ready for it and capable. And those of you who aren't ready for it, we're going to make you ready. We're going to train you hard. We're going to have a lot of fun. Will it be dangerous? Yeah, sure, absolutely. We were going to keep you safe, keep you protected. You have the best people and trainers looking out for you. Also, just so you know, if you want to be around some of your demigod peers, you can go to our social media platform. And if you're under the age of 18, you can get your parents' permission. We encourage you to do that. It's called the Hangout, the Demigod Hangout. We just call it Hangout for short. And we're getting ready to go mobile. Right now, it's still just going to be for your computers. But you can go there, and that is where you can access the book club and book talks I was talking about. We've just put the link to the Hangout in chat, so you can click it there. But that is a really cool resource for some of you demigods. A lot of support and love. We have all sorts of challenges going on, and polls and camp information. And there will be times probably on Tuesdays when we have our meetings where there might be some exclusive camp information that could help us solve problems and riddles that will show up during the book talks. So definitely check that out. It's really cool. It's really fun. Sometimes folks like Mr. D drop in. Sometimes we get authors dropping in, when we're talking about their books. So it really, really is a wonderful time. It's the Demigod Hangout, and I think you will love it. The Demigod Hangout has this Half-Bloods Assemble, kind of call to action. So really fun. I cannot wait to see you all at camp. It really is going to be cool. We have so much fun. I've got all sorts of stuff kind of behind me that is camp related, helmets and swords and things like that. Master Damon is your sword instructor and is a Ptolemaic Egyptian god who will be teaching you sword. So his mother is Aphrodite also. And one of his godly epithets is the Lion of Storms. And it's for real. Definitely. You're going to love training with Master Damon. And Master Cat is also out there to teach you hand-to-hand combat. We're going to play dodge skull out at the park. I know some of you are like, wait, what? Topher, that's not a thing. Yeah.
It's thing.
It's a thing. We don't just play dodgeball. You throw skulls at one another. Now, of course, they're made out of Nerf, but there is nothing more satisfying than throwing skulls across the field of battle. We do things a little differently at the Camp Half-Blood Austin branch. The danger is out there. We have mummies, like I told you, smileys, werewolves. That's sort of like our big three, right? What was it on Falcon and Winter Soldier? What were the three? Androids, aliens, and wizards, right? I think that was the big three. Ours are like smileys, werewolves, and mummies. Those are our oh my. So,
right.
Yeah, those are our big three. So
also, but then again, don't ignore all those other lovely things like Scythia Draceni, and we have fishmen and all sorts of creatures that show up. Good, bad, friendly, not friendly.
Yeah,
it's a mess.
We have Howard Fishman, and Howard and the whole Fishman clan have like all sorts of really fun, awesome kind of relatives. There's, I think one of the guys is kind of Filet-O-Fishman. That's, yeah, I know. TJ2 is like, wait, really? Yeah. So there's all sorts of monsters, both friendly and folks you wouldn't want to shake hands with, you know, all out there. We're gonna have so much fun. Oh my gosh. So join Hangout. Save up your pennies for extra camp shirts and camp coins. Every year we have a different camp coin. This year's camp coin is going to be really, really cool. And camp socks and candles to give to your mom or grandma or you or whomever, dad, friend. We're going to have an absolute blast. Mr. D will be with us. TJ2 will be with us from time to time. He will let me know when he is going to use the world tree to access Camp Half-Blood. Sometimes you are summoned and you have appeared in the woods behind the dining hall in your green Hotel Valhalla bathrobe. You remember that? You're brushing your teeth. You had your shower cap on, your slippers. You remember that? Yeah. TJ2 and I have known each other for a long time, and he is really fond of pranking me. For those of you returning campers, you know about the story of the manticore that occasionally shows up at camp. Yeah. You'll laugh it up, Fuzzball. We often, while we're on patrol, he will wait until I'm in the right position, and then he will use his Kentucky long to shoot the poison sac that has a venom that when it comes in contact with my skin turns me bright lurid colors, and it stains my skin for days. Sometimes, if I'm really lucky, I change his colors kind of throughout the day, and I turn into a rainbow of fruit flavors. So there are pranks like that all the time that he plays on me. So y'all, we have tons of fun. And Mr. D is always amazing and wonderful to like all of you. He loves that you're coming out there, and can't wait to meet each and every single one of you. I jest.
Right.
I'm joking. Yeah, lies. Yeah, lies. All right, y'all. We will see you soon. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email us, and we can get you where you need to go and get you the information. You can send it to support at camphalfbloodAustin.org. Support at camphalfbloodAustin.org. And we'll get all of your questions answered. Thank you so much for joining us for the claiming ceremony for Camp Half-Blood Austin Summer 2021. Thomas Jefferson Jr., thank you so much, sir. We will see you soon, we hope. Mr. D, I'm gonna probably end up like seeing you later tonight. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But
All
twerps,
right.
yeah, before all this starts, just like he said more than once, go to Hangout, play the Choose Your Own Adventure, get ready for the next one. I even think there's Minecraft and all other sorts of crap that you can join.
Oh my gosh, that's right. How could I forget the Camp Half-Blood Austin Minecraft server is there. You do need to enter your name and your email in order to get on that thing. And we need the email because we send announcements for events that we hold regularly on the server. It's super duper fun. So if you're into Minecraft, definitely go to the Hangout. The link is there. Sign up for the Choose Your Own quests. More of those coming. We even have a guest, Rick Riordan Presents author, who will be writing one of those for us in the future. It's going to be really cool. So definitely come hang out with us. We have so much to offer you. We're glad you're with us, and we will see you soon. Demigods, until I do see you next, swords and books up. Take care. Mwah.